So Shazam 2 Fury of the Gods opened for previews last night, Thursday night previews, and didn't do so well. It had $3.4 million is what it made last night for just its previews, its Thursday night previews. Now you might say that, it's just one night, that's not so bad, but you got to take into consideration that the first Shazam movie did a $5.9 million on a Thursday night preview and then opened to $53.5 million for the weekend. So it's much lower than the first one, and this movie, from what I hear, is not as good as the first one. There's too much going on. There's too many cooks in the kitchen, if you will. I did not see the first one. I couldn't tell you much about Shazam. I know that my son went to see it, and he said it was okay. It wasn't mind-blowing, but okay. He didn't mind it. But this one here, it's not looking good, and it could be superhero fatigue. It could be the simple fact that this movie, we already know, will have no bearing on the future of the DCU. James Gunn has already said that. They had to release this movie because if they had already made it, so they couldn't just not release it. That would have been a killer. They got to at least try to make some kind of money on it. They gave away last week that Gal Gadot was doing a cameo in it. So they gave that away, so there's no big surprise. I think they did that for the simple fact that they needed people to come see this and say, hey, Gal Gadot's in it as Wonder Woman. But, who cares? This movie has no bearing on the future of the DCU. James Gunn has already said that. People could be staying away because of their anger at James Gunn for what his plans are for the DCU. Not many people are happy about that. And what he did to Henry Cavill. He screwed Henry Cavill. We all thought Henry Cavill was going to come back, but no, he screwed that over, and the fans want him. So he's not doing good. He's not doing good. We'll take a look on Rotten Tomatoes. The critics, they don't like this movie. It's got a 53% rotten. Black Adam had a worse critic score. It was down in the 30s. It's got an 84% audience score, but that's only 250 verified ratings. And I will also remind you that Black Adam had a high audience score, but it still didn't make its money back. It still didn't make enough money, and nobody went to see it. Even though it had a high audience score, the people that went to see it were enjoying it, but not enough people showed up to make it profitable. So this could be the same deal. This could be exactly the same deal. People that do go see it enjoy it, but not enough people are going to go see it to give it the chance to make its money back. We already know that this will probably be the last Shazam movie. It's part of the old regime at the DCU or DC Studios, Warner Brothers, and they don't want to have to do this movie, but they don't have a choice. I think it's pretty much the same thing with the Flash movie. That movie had already been made, and they've spent money on it. They've spent a lot of money on it because they've gone back and they've done a bunch of reshoots. I don't know how many reshoots they did with this movie, but I know that they reshot the hell out of the Flash movie, and they have to release it. They don't have a choice, and they're going to try to say that it's the counterpoint, the turning point for the new DCU, and it's basically going to reset the DCU, but that's not 100% true. The movie was made before they decided to reset the DCU, and they had to go in and they had to take Henry Cavill out of it, just like they had to take him out of this movie. But they kept Wonder Woman in. So does that mean that Wonder Woman is going to remain in the DCU? Because according to what James Gunn had said, they weren't in any talks with Gal Gadot to remain at all. So we don't know. We don't know what's going on with the DCU. It's a mess. James Gunn is coming out with all kind of cryptic answers. He won't give anybody a straight answer. So this movie probably is not going to be able to sustain itself, and it's not going to be able to make all of its money. It's not a popular character, Shazam. I don't even know. The only thing I know about his powers is he's a kid and he says Shazam and he basically turns into a Superman-like figure. that basically has Superman powers, I guess. So that's the only thing I know about Shazam. And I'm probably not the only one that feels that way. He was never, he was never a front and foremost character in the DC comics. Not like Superman, not like Batman, not like Wonder Woman. So I doubt that this thing is going to get any kind of traction. It's not going to go anywhere, and it's going to be a flop. It's going to be a terrible flop for DC. It's probably not the first. It's probably the first of many. So I hope you liked the video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to check out my Rumble and my locals. And I'll talk to you next time.